Welcome to my official mid-year check-in. Did you guys cheer?
No.
Hello, Shawty Baes. Hello, besties. It is officially July, not June. I wasn't gonna say June. July. Yay, my birthday month. My birthday is July 21st. I'm a Cancer. So since we are a little bit more than halfway through the year, I decided, let me just tell you my top 10 favorite books so far out of the 127 that I've read, something like that. This is a very cut down list. I have so many books that I loved this year so far, but choosing a top 10 was very difficult. All of these are 5 stars. You probably have seen me talk about them before since they are my favorites. I probably have bombarded you with them, so I will try to make this short and simple. Scattered across my family line. These are not in any specific order. I picked a top 10 and I think that that's fucking enough, okay? There's no order to this. They were just all my favorites, okay? Coming up at number 10, we have Flawless by LZ Silver. Now this is a new addition to the top 10 because I just read this a couple days ago and it already is in my top of the year. I don't know what it is about this book, but it did something to me. I think it's because it enlightened me on this new fictional obsession I have. Apparently I'm into cowboys. So this is brand new information. I think just because it shed light on this for me, it already has to be a favorite. This book follows Rhett and Summer and it is dual POV. And basically Rhett is a bull rider and Summer is the agent that's assigned to take care of him when he gets into a scandal. He, in not so many words, says publicly that he doesn't like milk. Guy man. Right there, you got me, because I hate milk. Hate it. I will have it like in cream. Milk products, but milk? Ice cream. I'm there, John B. I could go on all day. I stopped drinking milk. I was like 6 months old. Mom was concerned, and I was like, ew. What was I saying? So Rhett gets into this scandal when he says he doesn't like milk, right? Publicly, because he is a bull rider. Most of his sponsorships come from milk products. His agency decides they're going to assign Summer to babysit him and better his image. And she has to go live in his ranch and just make sure that he follows all the rules. So it's forced proximity, it's roommates, it's a little bit of enemies to lovers because obviously he doesn't like that he has to have a babysitter, this grown ass man. This was my shit. I don't know what it was about it. It was so comforting. It was small town. It was a cowboy romance. The fucking mouth on this man, okay? I was not expecting it. Let's just say he doesn't like milk, but he does lick some whipped cream off her body. I don't know what it was about this book, but it just did it for me. And also it's a part of a series. It's the first book in a series. The other ones are not out yet, so I'm very excited for future couples. I was not expecting myself to rate this 5 stars. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting me to like it, but holy shit. Or dare I say it, holy cow. I should have not dared to say it. Listening to country music while I was reading it was such an iconic experience. I will be reading more cowboy romances and I will be reading more LZ Silver. If you like The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks, okay, I haven't read the book, but the movie, you would love this shit. Yes, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Coming up at number 9 is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I've talked about this one more than enough. Look at the cover. It is fucking beautiful. This book follows Knox and Naomi. It is also dual POV. And Naomi comes strolling into town to bail her twin sister out of a little trouble that she got herself into. But when she gets into town, she sees that her sister has vanished with her car, all her money, and all she left her is her daughter. Not Naomi's daughter, her sister's daughter. I think you got that. And on her first day in town, she's in this coffee shop and she meets Knox, and Knox is very fucking rude to her because he thinks that she's her twin sister, but he decides that he's going to help her figure her life out because now she's stuck in this town. She doesn't know anyone, she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have money, she doesn't have her car, and she's stuck with this niece that she had no idea she had. So she kind of gets put into this single mother position and she has to roll with the punches in this new situation, and Knox helps her out. I loved this book. I ate the shit up. It's really long. It's 558 pages with a bonus epilogue. We love to see a bonus epilogue. Thank you so much, Lucy Score. It was really long, but it didn't feel long to me because I loved it so fucking much. Like I just kept eating it up. When I originally read this book, I rated it 5 stars, and then I went back and I rated it 4.75. And then I went back again and put back 5 stars. I don't know why I changed my mind so many times, but it's officially 5 stars. I loved it so much. Naomi was one of my favorite main characters. A lot of people say she's annoying, and that makes sense to me because most characters I love, people say they're annoying. Like every character, I'm like, oh, I relate to them. Someone will be like, oh my God, that character is so annoying. I'm like, dang. You're right. But Naomi was coffee obsessed. She was so sweet. She was funny. She really like took life in the best way possible. Knox was the grumpiest. I advise you to picture Chris Evans when you read this as Knox. Picture him circa Infinity War with the beard. Then he shaves the beard, so then picture Endgame. You will not regret it. And this is also part of a series. I'm very excited for the next books coming up. Things we never got over Lucy Score. And then at number 8, we have Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This book is completely different than the other ones I've talked about because it is on the darker side. This one follows Cora and Dean. It is dual POV as well, but in different parts of the story. It's not really like your usual dual POV where you have one chapter each person. It's kind of like different sections, but you still get both. Cora and Dean have hated each other ever since they met, and they have known each other for quite some time because Dean is engaged to Cora's sister. Now, one night they're all out and Cora gets kidnapped and Dean gets kidnapped with her. This story is really fucking sad, really dark, really deep, so please search up trigger warnings for this one, but it is fantastic. One of my favorite reads. Cora is one of the strongest MCs. Dean was amazing. Everything about this book was just phenomenal. I love it so much. I know a lot of people don't like sister's fiance or sister's boyfriend trope, and I'm not a fan of it either, but the situation this book had was so different than anything that I forgave it. Like, you got kidnapped with this person. This is not something that's just like a petty, oh, I'm gonna take your boyfriend kind of thing, you know? This was so good. Like imagine fighting and bantering with someone for 15 years and then getting kidnapped with them and having to work together to get out with the person you hate the most. Are you kidding? While we're on the subject of some dark romance, the Mindfuck series, of course, by St. Abbey. Y'all, this is a whole series, but I'm counting it as one because first of all, I have it in one book. So you can argue with me. Second of all, it's a consecutive series, so it counts as one. This series is made up of 5 books and they're all really short, like they're all less than 200 pages. The 5 books in order in the Mindfuck series are The Risks, Sidetrack, Scarlet Angel, All the Lies, and Paint It All Red. Definitely read this one in order. You have to read it in order or else it doesn't make any fucking sense. This book follows Lana and Logan and it is dual POV. And Logan is an FBI agent who specializes in serial killers, and he's currently searching for one that nobody can seem to catch. And his girlfriend is that serial killer. Criminal Minds meets Dexter, but make it spicy. This is an amazing series. Lana and Logan can do no wrong. Do not argue with me. Lana Myers is one of the best characters of all fucking time. I support women's rights, but more importantly, I support women's wrongs. This book was amazing, and it was one of those have you at the edge of your seat kind of books. Like, you just wanted to see what was gonna happen next, which is why I couldn't stop. I picked it up like, I think Sunday at like 5 p.m. And then all of a sudden it was 5 a.m. and I had finished the entire thing. And I didn't really know what to do with myself after that. So if you would like that experience, the Mindfuck series. For sure, search up trigger warnings for this one too, because it is very dark. It goes into heavy topics, deep topics. So search up trigger warnings, but it's amazing. Coming up at number 6, I put these together and they are interconnected standalones, but they count as one because it's the same author in the same series. So we've got Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I don't have my physical copy of Twisted Lies right now. Listen. I know this technically, if you really deeply think about it, they don't count as one because they're different couples, right? But it's the same series, same author, so we're gonna count it. Twisted Hate is the 3rd book in the Twisted series, and Twisted Lies is the last one. The first 2 are Twisted Love and Twisted Games, but I read those last year. The entire Twisted series is also dual POV, so we love to see it. This book follows Josh and Jules, and it is enemies with benefits. It is also best friend's brother. Enemies with benefits, what? And then after Twisted Hate, you have Twisted Lies, and that is Stella and Christian's story. This one just came out, and oh my god. This one is fake dating, forced proximity, boy obsessed, grumpy sunshine. I would go in order with the Twisted series, so read Twisted Love and Twisted Games first, and then go into Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies. They follow the same friend group, so you get crumbs of other couples in each other's books, and it just means a lot more, especially the epilogue of Twisted Lies if you've read the entire thing. But if you want to go separately, you can. Both of these were 5 stars for me. Stella and Christian are my favorite couple in the series. Twisted Lies is my favorite book. Stella's my favorite girl. Christian's my favorite guy. This one is just everything to me, but this would be a close second to all of that. Anna Huang just knows what she's doing. Coming up at number 5, we've got another one that I kind of cheated a little bit on because it is once again interconnected standalones that I put together, but same series. It's Wrecked and Redeemed from Dirty Air by Lauren Asher. Wrecked and Redeemed are the 3rd and 4th book in the Dirty Air series. Wrecked follows Jax and Elena, and Redeemed follows Santi and Chloe, and they're both dual POV. I'm not going to talk about these too much because I do have a Lauren Asher video coming up soon, like literally next week soon. So I'm gonna bombard you with these already. So I don't want to bore you here, but Hello? Did somebody beep? These were my favorite in the Dirty Year series. With Wrecked, you have Forced Proximity, you have Enemies with Benefits, you have Trauma Bonding, and then with Redeemed, you have Grumpy Sunshine, and you have Fake Dating. Please search up trigger warnings, especially for Wrecked. These were amazing. These were so fucking good. The best 2 books in the Dirty Year series. Highly, highly recommend. Same as the Twisted series, I would advise you to go in order because you get crumbs of other couples, and it's just fun, and the series is amazing, so you should, but you can read it as standalones if you'd like. My Lauren Asher video will be posted soon, so if you want to hear more about these, coming right up. Now, coming up at number 4, I cheated a little bit more than I did with the other ones because the other ones were at least part of the same series, right? These are not. These are just by the same author, but I figured I could include them together. It's Juniper Hill and Letters to Molly by Devney Perry. These are not part of the same series. Juniper Hill is part of the Edens. It's the second book in the Eden series. And Letters to Molly is part of the Mason Jar duet, the second one in that one. But they're both by Devney Perry.
You can't tell me that I can't count it because I did. What are you gonna do about it? I did. It's done. It's done.
Juniper Hill follows Knox in Memphis, and it is dual POV. And Knox is a chef in this small town in Montana, Quincy. And Memphis just moves there with her newborn baby. Newborn? Infant baby. Anyway, she moves into town for this job in a hotel, and the person that she applies for the job with tells her that they can get her an apartment as well, and that apartment happens to be Knox's garage apartment. So there's forced proximity in this one. There's roommates, neighbor kind of vibe, small town, and so comforting. Like, this book is like a big hug. And the entire Eden series has an element of mystery to it, like an underlining mystery in there, which is really fun to read about. And my favorite part of Devney Perry romances is that they're all so mature. Like, I don't feel annoyed by these characters because they're all grown and incredible. Knox Eden, that's it. And Letters to Molly, on the other hand, with this messy looking guy on the cover, is Molly and Finn, and also dual POV. And Molly and Finn were college sweethearts, and they got married really early on, and now they're going through a rough patch. Well, not really a rough patch. They got divorced. So a little bit more than a rough patch, a very rough patch. What was I saying? Oh yes, so Molly and Finn, they are divorced, but all of a sudden letters start coming in the mail for Molly. Letters that Finn wrote throughout their entire relationship, but he never meant for anyone to see these, and he's not the one sending them. This is very much a second chance romance, marriage on the rocks. I don't know what that's actually called. I keep calling it marriage on the rocks. Marriage in trouble trope. There you go. And also small town. Devney Perry, Queen of Small Town. I love these 2 with my entire heart. Please read them. And same thing as the other ones, they are interconnected standalones. Juniper Hill is the second one. The first one in the Eden series is Indigo Ridge. I would recommend going in order because they're so good. The third one is Garnet Flats. That's coming out at the end of this month. And then she has 3 more coming that are not out yet. So this one's unfinished. And then Letters to Molly is just part of a duet. The first one is The Birthday List. Also incredible. Would highly recommend. And this one is the second one. We are down to our final 3. So number 3, we've got Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I love this book so fucking much. This one is a love triangle. I know. Everybody hates love triangles. I hate them too, but this book did it so well. It did cause me a lot of anxiety though. So I would recommend when you are in a good mental state, because not only did I sob, but also I was very anxious throughout because love triangles are not my thing. This one is so good. I don't want to tell you too much about this book because anything I say can spoil it. This is a very easy spoilable. Spoilable. This book can get spoiled very easily. So I will just tell you that it follows Ariana, and she is caught between Chase, her first love, and Noah, her second love. That's it. And it is a college romance. I adored this book. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it, but it has one of my favorite book boyfriends of all time, and I never knew what was coming next. I also went into this very blindly. So I don't know if that was part of the reason why I loved it so much, but Say You Swear, Megan Brandy's so good. Number 2, we've got Binding 13 and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. This counts as one for sure because it's about the same couple. It's a part of the series, but about the same couple. This is the Boys of Tommen series. Book 1 is Binding 13. Book 2 is Keeping 13. And it follows Johnny and Shannon. It is dual POV. Basically, Johnny is this very famous rugby star in the school that they're at, and Shannon is the new girl at school. One day, Johnny is playing rugby and he hits her in the head with a ball by accident, and so he kind of feels a little bit responsible for her after that, and they start to get to know each other. But Shannon has a very hard family life, so she is constantly dealing with that as well, and Johnny is dealing with some injuries he's going through. So these two, as much as there is amazing romance in it, I would say there's a lot more to it than that. that. The topics in these, the scenes in these, if you need trigger warnings and content warnings, please search them up. I loved getting to know these characters, and not only Johnny and Shannon, but also Claire and Gypsy and Joey. These are so good. The found family in these is superior. The characters are amazing. And even though only Johnny and Shannon have books, you feel like you know every single one of them because there's so many scenes of all of them together. I adore these with my whole heart. Please read Binding and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I know that they are so long, but they're worth every second, okay? Johnny is incredible. Shannon is so strong. The side characters are great. It gives so hard. I know the boys from Say You Swear and Binding 13 give off the same energy. So if you like Noah Riley, I feel like you'd like Johnny Kavanaugh. And if you like Johnny Kavanaugh, I feel like you'd like Noah Riley. Also, if I said Kavanaugh wrong, I'm sorry. English isn't my first language. A bunch of you made fun of me in one video because I said that one of the characters' names in these books is Iofi. I thought you said it Iofi. I didn't know you didn't say it like that. If y'all see me embarrassing myself, just smile and wave. Just move along. Finally, our last books of the day is the Grip Trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. This one also counts as one because it's a whole consecutive series. You have to read every single one of these in order, okay? The first one is Flow. It's just a little short novella. It's a prequel, but very important. You need to read this one to understand the rest of the series. Then you have Grip, which is the second book. That is a full-length one. And then you have Still, the last one. Definitely read these in order. Definitely. It won't make sense if you don't because it's about the same couple. These books follow Grip and Bristol, and it is dual POV. There's so many tropes in these, I can't even really tell you all of them. There's strangers to lovers, there's second chance, there's manager client, there's brother's best friend, forced proximity. Everything that you could possibly think of is in these books. Basically, Grip and Bristol meet one night and they form a connection instantly, but something happens and they get separated, and then you get to see throughout the books their love get a second chance. I will not say anymore. These mean so much to me. They are not just romance. They are so much more. Grip and Bristol are an interracial couple. So you have a white woman with a black man, and you see the struggles that they go through being an interracial couple, dealing with what society has to say about them. You also see the struggles with police brutality and racism. There's so much to these books. It is so important that you know that going into it, because don't expect just romance, but expect the romance to be amazing with all these important topics. When you are in the mood for deeper books, I would go for these. Please search up trigger warnings for them as well. Grip and Bristol own a small piece of my heart. I am never getting it back. It belongs to them. Kennedy Ryan, thank you. Thank you for the Grip Trilogy. So this is it, Shawty Bays. My top 10 reads of the year so far. All of these are 5 stars for me. I love all these books so much. They were not in order. You know, they can interchange. Like Binding 13 and the Grip Trilogy are pretty much tied at number 1 for me, but the rest is not in order. And just remember that it doesn't matter how much you've read so far this year. If you've read 20 books, if you've read 10, if you've read 1, it's good enough, okay? Do not base your numbers on somebody else's. Just read whenever you can, read for fun. That's what's important, that you're having a good time and that you're enjoying this hobby. These are my top 10. Go read every single one. And if you do, let me know your favorites. I love you so much, Shawty Bays. Have a good day.